Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Deb's Artsy Life. I know it's been a while since I've posted, and this video is going to be a little longer because it's in two parts, and I hope you'll watch all the way through because yesterday I went on an adventure and went to the Blue Ridge Fiber Festival in a town about 30 minutes from here, and I filmed some footage while I was there, and I'm introducing you to my friend Melody Weed, who is from, I think, Maryland, but she comes all the way. Sorry, my dog saw someone across the road, and so he's just going crazy, and he barks so loud. So if you hear him, I apologize, but I'm going to try to continue with the video. Anyway, she comes all the way from Maryland to this fiber festival each year, and this is her hand-dyed yarn, hand-spun yarn that I'm working with. And I've got so much to share with you today, in addition to going to that fiber festival. So please stay tuned all the way to the end if you have time, and you can always watch it in parts. Excuse the dog, please. I hope you guys can hear me. Oh gosh, I've got to start by telling you what I did. I'm going to put some chapstick on so my lips aren't so dry. I just brushed my teeth. You know, you've heard yarn companies and like Instagram posts that say you can never have too much yarn, or, you know, too much is never enough. And I've said that before, but I have learned that I had too much yarn. I was literally choking and gagging on yarn. I felt like I was suffocating from it because I just kept bringing it in. And every time a new yarn would come out, I would think that I had to have it. And I stocked up so much on that Joanne Big Twist party yarn. I had just a closet full of it. And truth be told, I wasn't using it. It was just, some of it had been in the closet for over a year and had not been really touched. And I mean, that's okay, and I'm not saying that anybody else should do this, or not even I'm not even suggesting that. I'm just telling you what I had to do, because I just felt completely overwhelmed. I have so many hobbies. There's painting and drawing and you know, reading and so many things that I love to do, and then knitting and crocheting. So I got up about 3 huge bags of that Big Twist Party yarn and took it, and the Big Twist Value. I have tried very hard to like Big Twist Value yarn, but I just don't. And the reason I don't, for me, is it's kind of shiny, and it just looks cheap, and that's just my opinion. And I mean, it is cheap. It is value yarn. It is very inexpensive value yarn. It is very soft. It has beautiful colors, but there's something about it that I just can't like. And for whatever reason, I just wasn't using it. It was just sitting in my closet. And so I had y'all saw if you look back a few videos, I did some footage in my yarn closet. Well, my yarn closet looks much better now. I took back. Joann's return policy is that they'll take it back with a receipt no matter how long it's been. And so I took back $323 worth of yarn to Joann's. I had it all organized, and I'll admit I was really anxious about doing it, but the lady was irritated, you could tell, but she was very professional. She wasn't rude at all, and I had it all organized. I had all my order numbers, and I had the yarn, and I was doing it in, you know, by order. So it only took about maybe 15-20 minutes to return all that. But it's so funny when I think about it, because I had all that yarn and I was just treasuring it, and it was all nice and neat in my yarn closet, and she would take it and just throw it over her shoulder and make a big pile of all my returned yarn. But yes, I got back $323 on my credit card of yarn that was just sitting in my closet. And, you know, I love the Big Twist Party yarn, but it's really good if you're making sweaters or garments, I think. It's a little on the lighter side for a blanket for me, and it's not good for making bags necessarily. So I don't know. I mean, it was great yarn. I was in love with it, but I just wasn't using it. I find myself drawn more to the bulky or worsted weight, thick yarn. So I have been on a bag making frenzy. So I'll get to that in a minute. But what I did was I cleaned out my yarn closet and I got all that Premier anti-peeling that I had in those big bags I've shown you in the past. I had 2 of those full, and I emptied them out and put it on my shelf. And so now all my yarn, other than what's in projects, is visible to me. And that has helped me so much. I'm still overwhelmed. I'm still choking on yarn. I still have far more than I can use. But I'm not feeling so overwhelmed. And you know what I did? I took that money and I bought myself one of those standing desks to go in my office at work where you can stand up and type. And I absolutely love that thing, and I use it every day. And I've stood almost every day all day this week. And so what a use of that money. So much better than having all that yarn just piling in my closet. So I guess I've learned the lesson that you can't have too much, and there's no point in just collecting and collecting and collecting. I think social media is such a huge temptation. There's so much inspiration and so many yarn hauls and people showing new yarns, and there's always new yarns coming out, but I've come to the conclusion that I do not have to have every one. But in saying that, I hope you'll stick around to watch the Fiber Festival, and I want to show you what I bought at the Fiber Festival. This is hand-dyed, hand-spun yarn from a lady that helped me with my phone. She was the tech assistant. My phone was blowing up. I was trying to film video and it was getting real hot. So she came over and looked at it and made sure everything was set up okay. But it's not as bright as Melody Weeds. As you can see, it's a little muted, but I just think this is beautiful. And it's got glitter in it. Look at that, sparkly. So I got that. I only made 2 purchases. I was very proud of myself. Oh dear. I'm not very proud of myself right now. Oh, you guys. Here we go. Here we go. Hopefully. Well, I'm not going to do this in front of you. I'll just put it over to the side for a minute. Okay. This is what I want to show you. This is Melody's, this is not hand spun, but it is hand dyed. Just look at that. I really want it to focus because I want you to see. And it's even got the little tail sticking out, so I don't have to worry. And this is her business card, which I love. River Ridge Fiberworks, melodyweed at AOL.com, and it's riverridgefiberworks.com. I don't think you can see that, but now you can. Okay, so she is my favorite vendor at the Sparta Festival. And this I've shown you in the past. All the centers for these flowers is her hand-dyed, hand-spun yarn. I'm trying to decide what to do with this, so I've got it out today. I was going to do a table runner, but I think I'm going to make a bag out of it. And I don't know quite how I'm going to do that, but stay tuned for the updates on that. Okay, speaking of bags, I've got to show you. I have been on a bag making frenzy. I made this one. It kind of looks fallish. And the Fall Into Art Festival is in October. So this will be for sale at that festival. It reminds me of candy corn. But this is the Premier Vivid. And this is the Yarn Bee Sugar Wheel. I think is what it's called. Or something like that. Anyway, I just love this. It's a little, I mean, you'll definitely see someone coming if they're carrying this, but this one's totally finished and all the ends are sewn in. Some of them I've not finished. So that's number one. We've got a stack, so you guys just stay tuned. This is the probably most recent, no, but this is Serenity Chunky Candy, and then I'm holding it with several other yarns, but I love this. Here's the bottom. It's just a circle, and this too will be for sale if I don't decide to keep it. Now it's full of ends that need to be sewn in. I haven't done that yet. This one I can't remember if I've shown you. I've got two that are very similar. This may have been in a prior video, and if so, I'm sorry, but I might as well just show them all to you. Each square is different. And again, it's Premier Vivid. I think this is the colorway Tetra. And then I've combined it with several different solids that I had. I love it. I love it. And here's one. I don't know. I've shown you one of these, but I don't know which. So I'm just showing them again. I think I showed you this one. But it is Premier Basics and Serenity Chunky Candy. And these are the ones I really want to show you because I'm so excited. You remember that blanket that I was making for the front bedroom, and I didn't like the colors all that much because they were pastel. Well, I took that blanket apart. I think it was last Saturday or Saturday before last, and I decided to make bags out of them. I took the squares apart and just turned them into bags. Now, these are not my colors, you know. If you've watched for any length of time, you know I don't like these colors. But somebody will, hopefully. And these will be for sale at the Fall Into Art Festival. There's the bottom. And it's not that they're bad colors. They're just not, they're too muted for me. But I love the bag. And this is Premier Anti-Peeling Yarn. So they should hold up pretty well. And this is the one I'm most recently finished. Well, I'm not finished. That I've been working on most recently. And you can see I've got ends to sew. But, and I've got a few more rounds on the handle to do because I'd like it to be a little bit wider. But I will say that I love this yellow and green. I think that is so pretty together. So, that's this side. And each square, again, is different. But I just love this. And so that was such a great way to use up some of that anti-peeling yarn without having to make a blanket. I just could not bring myself to make another full-size blanket. So, those are the bags that I have made. And I've also been making these. I've only made two, but I'm going to make more. They kind of nest into each other, as you can see. But this little basket, I love how it sets up and it doesn't fold in on itself. And the way you make that work is using a smaller hook and using more strands. I think I've got like four strands of yarn, maybe 3, I don't know, but it makes it sturdier. or not, you know, it makes it stand up. It makes it less like a bag. And then this little one, I didn't use quite as many in it, so it's not quite as tight. But I just love them. I love making them. And they'll be so handy. I mean, you could just use this for so many things, I feel like. And so I hope they sell at my booth in October. And as far as knitting, oh gosh, knitting is so time consuming and slow. I love it, but it's just really slow. This is the baby blanket that I'm still working on. And like, I don't know how to show it to you since it's on the needles, but as you can see, I've started the decrease. And so that it'll be about as big as this one section. It'll be about 30 inches, which is not big enough for a baby blanket. So I told Grace, my daughter, she's due any day now, really. She could have that little boy any day now. I do love this yarn. It's from Michael's. The Loops and Threads and Carousel Twist. Yeah. Anyway, I told her that I might have this finished by the time he was in high school, and it would be about big enough to cover half his thigh by that time. So, I don't know. I'm hoping that it'll be okay, because I should have made it bigger, but I was just getting so tired of it. But I'm using that grandma's dishcloth pattern and just making it bigger. Speaking of grandma's dishcloth, I'm working on one of those. I've been working on it for a while, but I completed a couple. I love doing these, y'all. Well, I think I love doing them so much because I love using them so much. But as you can see, I started the decrease, but I got a ways to go. These needles are a mess. But they're so great to do your dishes with, or you could use them as washcloths. They're just so squishy. And I love knitted fabric. This is just a garter stitch. And it just makes the greatest dishcloth. It's such a luxury to have knitted dishcloth. Okay, that's all the projects that I have to share with you. Now, if you'll just stay tuned, then you can listen to the Blue Ridge Fiber Festival footage that I filmed yesterday. And I'll see you back after it's over. Thanks. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Deb's Artsy Life. This one is very exciting because right now at 2 o'clock I am leaving work and headed to the Blue Ridge Fiber Festival in Sparta, North Carolina. I am so excited. I can't stand it. And I want to take you along with me. I had bought a phone stand so that I could like film the scenery on the way over, but I won't pick it up until tonight. And I was going to go to the Fiber Festival tomorrow, but I finished up early at work and I've got about 3 hours to spend. It only takes about 30 minutes to get there, so I am on my way. I hope to film some footage once I get there. So stay tuned and I'll see you when I get there.
That's his second chair right there.
Okay, I'm here in my favorite booth, and this is the lovely Melody Weed, hard at work, and look at her, how beautiful and artsy she looks. And this is her friend Debbie, who I have met too, and this is their, what year at the festival? 4th year, my 3rd year of seeing them. And this is her gorgeous creation. And this is her hand-dyed yarn. Hand-dyed, hand-spun. This is my favorite booth in this festival. Say hi.
Hi. Very nice.
If you stayed with me this long, thank you so much. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the Fiber Festival and the animals and the yarn. And there was a lot of footage that didn't work out, and accidentally deleted a photo that I was really anxious to share. But anyway, it was a fantastic, fantastic evening, and I hope that you will like, subscribe, share my video, and I hope that you are being creative and enjoying this beautiful summer. Thanks. I'll see you next time.